wealth, fame, and limited edition SpongeBob Game Boy Advanced SP. Gold Roger, the king of the pirates, attained this and everything else this world had to offer. And his dying words drove countless souls to the sea. You want my limited edition SpongeBob Game Boy Advanced SP? You can have it, but you'll have to search the whole world. These words lured men to the Grand Line in pursuit of dreams greater than they have ever dared to imagine. Come aboard and we will play the One Piece game. Together we will go and kick Isaac right in the balls. One Piece World Seeker. Compass is left behind, 'cause we have a map. Your heart will be your guide, except we have waypoints. That legendary place that doesn't even matter. We're stuck on Prison Island, and that's about it, guys. Through it all, through all the troubled times, through the heartache and through the pain, know that I will be here playing the goddamn One Piece game. Come aboard and we will play the One Piece game. We will go and kick Katakuri in the balls. There's no room for you. It's a single player game. We aren't on the cruise. We aren't, because there's no sailing. Hi, I really like One Piece. I really like One Piece. And One Piece live action comes out tomorrow, the day I'm recording this. So in order to celebrate, I don't know if it's going to be good or not. If it's bad, I'll be like, oh, rah, 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 rah. If it's great, I'll be like, it's pretty good. So in order to celebrate that whatever randomness, I'm playing through One Piece World Seeker today. One Piece World Seeker is a game I have a troubled history with. You see, I started getting into One Piece back during the pandemic, and I loved it. It is maybe my favorite thing ever. I could talk at length about all the things I love and don't about the series, but I won't bore you with that today. I caught up with the anime after about 2 months, and then wanted more content. I watched a lot of One Piece YouTube and saw this game on the Microsoft Store and was like, oh my god, One Piece game? But it was like $80. I didn't have that kind of money. So I looked on Amazon and found it for like $40, so I bought it there. And then, it came in like 2 weeks later, and I went to go play it. Turns out the game was on sale for $30. It started the day it came in. Other than that, the game's pretty good. So One Piece World Seeker. I'm going to split this video up into 6 sections. The gameplay, the main story, and then the 3 DLC packs. And I'm going to say this right now. If you hadn't watched or read up to the end of Whole Cake Island, or in other words, episode 877/chapter 902, there's going to be spoilers when I talk about a lot of the story. So I'm warning you now. Don't watch this video if you don't want spoilers. And at Kenway Motions should probably go and watch One Piece. One Piece is good. If you haven't watched One Piece, go watch One Piece right now. The first 350 episodes are on Netflix, okay? You're good with that, man. You got Arlong Park, Alabasta, you got Skypiea, you got the good shit is on the Netflix. Go watch One Piece right now. This is my PSA. I am rambling way too hard. I am way too excited. It's 4 in the morning right now, and I want to talk about One Piece game. But I don't want you to know about One Piece game unless you watch One Piece. So go right now and watch One Piece. Do it. Okay, so in One Piece World Seeker, we take control of Monkey D. Luffy and his Gamu Gamu no Mi. I don't know why I said it like that. We take control of Monkey D. Luffy and his Gamu Gamu no Mi, or Gum Gum Fruit, if you're a pleb. In the main story, you only get to play as Luffy. And he controls quite well. Okay, so One Piece World Seeker is less original than you might think it is. It's less One Piece World Seeker as it is more Assassin's Creed Luffy Edition. A lot of this game's core DNA is from the classic Assassin's Creed games. You have the option to use kinda lame stealth mechanics to take down enemies, or you could just rush in guns blazing, kicking the shit out of everyone with your melee and ranged attacks. You can run around and open chests that contain materials needed to craft items and outfits and a bunch of alternate costumes for your character that are really cool. I actually like this a whole lot. I'm a big fan of the old Assassin's Creed games, especially Black Flag. So when I was pitched Luffy Assassin's Creed, I was like, I'm all in. And it didn't really disappoint in that regard. But let's step away from the Assassin's Creed comparisons real quick and talk about some of the unique aspects of the game. Okay, so Luffy not only has his Gum Gum powers, but also Haki. You have two modes, Observation and Armament. Observation gives you access to some of Luffy's more classic abilities, like the Gum Gum Gatling, and that's it. But you can also slow down time. I'm going to say it's probably advanced Observation Haki like he used against Katakuri at the end of Whole Cake Island, where you see the future, but I'm pretty sure this game came out before the end of Whole Cake Island, so I have no idea. Okay, so I just googled it. I was wrong in this last segment, but I'm leaving it in the video. I'm thinking that the development was just moved around to where the story doesn't reflect the fact that it's kind of in a weird spot. Like, it's post Whole Cake Island, but does not have a lot of Whole Cake influence other than just the Germa 66 guys showing up. I'll talk about that more in the story section. But yeah, I said it was wrong. I was wrong. But yeah, honestly, there's really not much reason to use Observation Haki mode other than the consecutive takedowns. It just doesn't do enough damage, honestly. So that's where Armament comes in. Armament does way more damage, replaces your dodge with a block, and again, you do way more damage. Meaning, when there's enemies in your way, and you just kind of want to armor up and spam your ranged attack headshots, so none of them are left standing. And Haki is cooler than no Haki anyway, so Luffy also gains access to a couple of special moves like Red Hawk, cool, Eagle Storm, Elephantal Kataringu, and even Conqueror's Haki. All of these take up energy from something called your tension gauge. The tension gauge has 3 tiers, 1, 2, and 3. Each of these special moves requiring 1, 2, or 3 to use, and then it eats up the gauge. It's just like a special move meter. I don't know why I explained it that way. You've definitely seen something like this before. But yeah, the higher the number, the better the attack, for the most part. And it's true basically in everything except Conqueror's Haki. Honestly, didn't really find a reason to use it in my playthrough. You unlock Conqueror's Haki, and you can instantly KO smaller enemies. And okay, that's pretty good. But it only really stuns large enemies and bosses, and they get unstunned right after you hit them at all. So it's not great. So you might as well just use Elephant Gatling, or just, That's right, Gear Forth. Unfortunately, we only have Bounce Man and kinda Snake Man, but I'll get to that. All this means is we don't get no Tank Man. Rest in peace, Tank Man. So after you progress a good ways through the story, you unlock the ability to transform into Bounce Man. And you are invulnerable to damage, have a bunch of highly decent, high-powered attacks, and can fly and bounce off the air. It's really fun to use. But you only have as much time as your tension gauge was close to full. So, once you run out, you can't build tension again for a little while, but you can still use Haki. Knife half lore accurate move there, game designers. I remember 5 seconds ago when I mentioned Snake Man. Well, you see, if you buy the DLCs, you get access to Snake Man, but it's only a really high power attack that you can use in Bounce Man form. So you just kind of do it, and the screen goes white, and Luffy says, Gya Force! Snake Man! King Cobra! And then, pow! You did all the damage. It's cool, but when I read I could use Snake Man, I kind of wanted more, to be honest. And yeah, other than that, the DLCs also give you access to Karoo, who can glide, which is really nice for exploring, by the way. That's kind of it for the gameplay loop of this game. You just kind of walk in, punch people, loot chests, make outfits, talk to your friends, do side quests, and then beat up more guys. And sometimes you do annoying search missions for people that are bad, and I don't like doing them. One Piece World Seeker in the gameplay loop is a so-so action game with a lot of Assassin's Creed DLC. And it's really fun. I actually quite enjoy playing the game. But it is One Piece. And, knowing One Piece, we're all here for the story, man. So it's time for the story. It's plot time, baby! Alright, so I'm feuding with Kenway Motions right now. I was going to, record the proper part of this video. But I just want to say, Kenyon, I'm looking at you, man. I have way more obscure music taste than you. The Beatles are way more obscure than Billy Joel. I will die on this hill. I will die on this hill. Anyways, on to the story. Alright, so the whole game takes place on Prison Island. An island that has 3 prisons on it. Shocking, I know. We start off in the Sky Prison, where we get a cool opening cutscene where the Straw Hats are looking for treasure and beating up guards and stuff. And then Luffy jumps off the island, everybody scatters when they realize it was a trap the whole time. Luffy falls into the ocean, which is bad, because Luffy can't swim. But he's saved by a nice lady named Jan. Okay, so this is where my first weird problem with the story comes into play. Luffy must have been passed out for, a while. Because everyone's had enough time to go off and do other things. Like, Chopper had the time to go and heal, an entire village that was attacked by pirates in the, 5 minutes since the opening cutscene. And I'm confused already. But moving on from that. So now Luffy's I gotta go find Chopper. So now he goes to Sapphire Town. We talk to a guy. Turns out Chopper's been captured. We go. We save Chopper. Then head to the Thousand Sunny. Change into the best costume, the raid suit. Fight Smoker. So this is another thing with this game. They bring in the most random assortment of characters you can think of for a One Piece game, I think. You got some heavy hitters from across the series showing up on this island all at the same time, with some matchups that honestly I'd rather just have not seen at all, even though it's not canon. You've got people like Crocodile, Buggy, Law, Akainu, Aokiji, Kizaru, Fujitora, Smoker, Tashigi, Crocodile. I don't know if I already mentioned Crocodile. The Sanji's brothers. Niji, Ichiji, Yanji, not Judge or Reiju, though. They're not here for some reason. I don't know why. Kind of wish they were here. I think it could make the story more interesting, but whatever. And I think all of these characters are here just kind of due to the fact that the new characters introduced aren't all that compelling or interesting. I don't dislike any of them per se, but Jan is the most basic One Piece character I think you could think of. Think of Princess Vivi. She's basically Vivi again. They even do a thing later on in the story where she slaps Luffy for insulting her or whatever, and he's like, "You can rely on me. I'm Monkey D. Luffy. I'm your friend." Jan is just Vivi again, but worse. Moving on from her, though, we have Isaac, the main villain, and Jan's older brother. I have no idea what my feelings are on Isaac. On one hand, I think he's really interesting. I kind of like the concept of his character. He watched their mom get murdered by pirates. He went off to join the Navy, but he found out that the pirates were actually working with the Navy, and so he wants to just kill everyone with this island's special resource, the Dynastones, which have the powers of ancient weapons. Ancient weapons being able to destroy islands and stuff. And there's just a bunch of these rocks just chilling on this island, but they're like really volatile, so only like one person knew how to excavate them. But then she died, so now Isaac's got figured out, and he figures it out, and now he's like, I'm gonna blow up all of the people. And so, as he progresses through the game, he does all this bad stuff. He probably murders, like, thousands of people. He explodes Dynastones at, like, a bunch of actual naval bases. You see it in the cutscene, and then Sakazuki's like, what's going on? They're blowing up the bases? Guess I'm gonna go to that island and beat up Isaac. And then, you know, at the end of the game, you kind of go up into the Sky Prison, which he's planning on bombing Mary Joie with, which honestly, we should just let him do it, you know. Let's just kill St. Charlos, like, right now, you know. You just... And he's dead. I'm fine with that. I'm pretty sure you'd all be fine with that, too. It's just the celestial dragons up there. But Janine's like, you can't do this. You can't do this, Isaac. It's bad. And then Isaac's like, I'm gonna do it anyways. And then Luffy's like, no, listen to your sister. She loves you. I'm gonna punch you in the face a lot. And then you do that. You beat Isaac in his boss fight. He's like, dang, I really hate you, Straw Hat Luffy. Go fall down. And you, my sister, I did love you the whole time. Here's my magic rocket armor. And now you go down to the ground again. And I'm gonna be Batman from the end of The Dark Knight Returns and explode the bombs, my Dynastones, and die. But not really. But we don't see Isaac again, I don't think. He just... Jan is just like, I know he's alive. He's my brother. Anyways, I cut out a lot of the middle stuff, like how characters just kind of randomly show up and leave in the plot. It's like you fight a boss like Smoker, and then he'll be like, get a call from Isaac, and he'll be like, oh, guess you gotta leave, Straw Hat. Or you'll fight Tashigi, or basically all of the admirals. You fight Fujitora and everybody, and he's just like, oh, Straw Hat, looks like I'm not gonna fight you right now. I'm gonna dip out until the ending cutscene. Oh, and also Sabo's there. I forgot to mention this. Sabo's there too, guys. He does basically nothing until the very end, when he 1v1s Sakazuki on the mountain so that Luffy doesn't have to. And I'm like, God, Akainu literally murdered your brother. And you're just like, Luffy could take care of himself. We're both pretty strong. And that's it. And that's what we get. We get that cutscene. And then Fujitora like, we need to go help the people on this island. Akainu! We need to go help the people on this island. And then they do that. And the game just kind of... because everything starts, like, exploding and shit. I don't know. It's weird. Okay? It's just kind of a mishmash of characters showing up and disappearing just one after the other out of nowhere. Like, hey, look, it's Smoker. Hey, look, it's Akainu. Hey, look, it's Fujitora. Hey, look, it's Crocodile. Hey, look, it's Buggy. And that's it. That's the story. And then there's this whole thing about, Jan wanting to see her brother and try to talk to him. But every time they interact, he's like, fuck you. You're a little bitch. You want people to like each other, man? That's lame. So, I'm going to be mean until the end cutscene of the game where I have a redemption arc that I didn't see it get hinted at all. He was just a dick the whole game, and then it was like, I love you, sis. I'm going to go explode. The story of this game is really fine. Fine. It's the most fine story ever. It's just serviceable. It's basically just, here go, plot point to plot point, boss fight to boss fight, and have fun doing that. And you know what? It works. It's serviceable. It strings us along pretty well. And I don't hate it, but it's really nonsensical and kind of bad. It's better if you do all the side quests, but it's not that much better if you do all the side quests. Anyways, DLC time now. Alright, so One Piece World Seeker got 3 DLC packs. Zoro, Sabo, and Law. I don't remember what their DLC packs are called. I don't care to look it up. But you get to play as these 3 characters, each in their own individual DLC, each with their own special moves and storyline, which is actually a really cool concept. Especially because a lot of the characters did basically nothing during the story and were absent, so there's a lot of room to fill that space. So, first of all, we're going to talk about the Zoro DLC, which is, of the 3, probably my second favorite. So Zoro's DLC has you play as Rowanoa Zoro. It's crazy, right? You wouldn't see that coming. And he basically teams up with Tashigi the entire time as they investigate this crazy robot named like Kagero or something. I don't care to look it up either. But they go on this journey to stop this killer robot who like steals data and uses it in fights and stuff. And it's pretty fun. Zoro has access to a lot of his popular moves from throughout the series. You know, like you've got your 3-sword style, Onigiri, billion-fold worlds, Tetratrillion, at least that's what they call it in the thing. Crossing Lion Song, stuff like that. Like a bunch of his epic abilities. My favorite one being that it costs 999 skill points in order to unlock the ability for Zoro's map to not be blurry as hell. And that's awesome, because as we all know, Zoro, bad with directions, so they put it in the game, and it's really cool. But Zoro and Tashigi go throughout this whole adventure, fighting Kagero, fighting some of the bosses like Fujitora and Kizaru, who I don't think Zoro should be able to beat, realistically speaking. The guy can move faster than light, and I get that Zoro is like real good at being sword guy, but I'm pretty sure he can't react that fast. The only person I think who could beat him in canon right now would either be Katakuri or Luffy due to having advanced observation haki. You know, being able to see the future and predict his moves would be a genuine plus. But anyways, Zoro cuts a bunch of people, goes serious mode instead of Gear 4th, cuts a bunch of more people, cuts a bunch of robots, cuts up Kagero, and the game is over. And by the game, I mean the DLC is over, and we actually end on Zoro's clutch save moment at the end of the campaign mode, where you're shooting up to the Sky Island to fight Isaac. So, that was genuinely a really nice touch. These DLCs are incredibly short, and this one was pretty awesome. Sabo's, on the other hand, was absolute dog shit. I know a lot of this review is probably coming off as very, very negative, and honestly, that's because I just find the story kind of boring and cliche, but there is no part of this game that I would genuinely say is bad, other than this part. The story, the gameplay, is It's stupid, all right? So we start off with Sabo. He's got his fire fruit abilities. That's cool. I like that. I like Sabo. He's a fine character. The only thing is, so it's just I can't put into words how frustrated I was playing this DLC. There are so many really weird annoyances with this one. So you go underground to these new cave areas to look for data and sleuth around for stuff. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. We're probably going to be playing like a more stealth-oriented campaign. Guess what? No, we're not, because we just got a bunch of dumb boss fights. So, in order to keep Luffy from interacting with Sabo in this one part in Cannon Cove, Cannon Island, Crystal Canyon, it's the canyon in place, okay? You listen to a bunch of Navy talk about how, what's his face? Leopard guy. Rob Lucci, right? And I shit you not, I'm still coming to terms with this one, man. Sabo steps out to go see Lucci and Luffy and falls into a mirror that is sitting on the ground. Just sitting there on the ground. He falls into Brune's mirror world and has the dumbest boss fight I have had in almost any game ever with Katakuri. Katakuri's not in the main game. He's not in either of the other DLCs. He is specifically here in this one boss fight. He asks Sabo some questions. Sabo asks him some questions. He goes, I can see the future, and you're not going to tell me, so I'm just going to beat it out of you. And then you fight him. And it took me so long. I spent like 3 hours doing this fight. I had to rewind time, go back, and change up all of my abilities just to stand a chance, and then I even had to lower the difficulty. This fight is insanely dumb. You have to hit him like when he does certain attacks, but he only does certain attacks when he's close to you, and they are like insanely hard to dodge. You have like near perfect just dodge moves and shit ready in order to beat Katakuri. Maybe I'm just bad. Maybe I suck at the game. Maybe I just don't like Sabo's moveset very much. Maybe it's all of those options I suggested. I lost count. But it is so dumb. You just fall through a mirror in the jungle, and that's it. And now you are stuck in this dumb boss fight. And it just took 3 hours to beat. I'm so tired. And would you believe me if I said there was another really annoying part, like right near the end, where you just have to fight just a bunch of really tough enemies in this annoying spot, and there's an auto turret, and this sucked too. I had to lower the difficulty for this too. And then the story isn't even interesting. It's just about Sabo learning all the stuff we already know, and then they like sort of hint at the fact that Isaac might, like Jan's company. She might like Jan's company. He might like Jan's company. He might actually care about his sister. Sabo's like, you have Jan, I got my boy Luffy. And then that's it. That's the end of Sabo's story, other than when he goes up to fight Kainu at the end for 5 seconds. That's it. You fight that boss fight. I don't even know if it's a boss fight. I'm pretty sure Sabo just shows up. Maybe it is a boss fight. I don't remember, because I don't care enough to go back and look through the footage to check. It'll be on screen now if it is or if it isn't. But this whole DLC was utter garbage. Like, you could remove it from the game, and honestly, I think the game might be better for it. It was just boring and uninteresting, and there was not even a cool area to explore. Unlike the next DLC, the best DLC, Trafalgar the Waterlaws DLC. So I'm not the biggest fan of Law's character. Like, he's cool. I like Law. He's fun. He's a cool guy, cool characters. I like Law. But I wouldn't go out of my way to say I want Law to be the third character in this game. And then they did it, and it's the best part of the whole game. The story is really self-contained about Law chilling with this kid who has a dream of finishing his dad's map. And he wants to chart all of Cannon Island. Cannon Island? Oh my god, that's not... all of Prison Island. And the skies above it. I didn't mention this earlier, but yeah, you can go to the skies, play the clip of... Tears of the Kingdom stole it from One Piece game. But you and this kid go up to the Sky Islands and you explore and you do a bunch of cool stuff. Fight pirates, fight crocodile, fight the Navy, you fight Kizaru for like the third time. I'm pretty sure he's one of the few characters you fight as almost everybody. I don't remember very much of Sabo's DLC. It was just so boring. But I went immediately from Sabo to Law's, and Law's is way better. You get access to a bunch of his room abilities, a bunch of really awesome special attacks like Gamma Knife, and the one where he steals people's hearts. It's cool. Law was really fun to play. And instead of a rocket ability or being able to climb walls, Law can do just a teleport by, doing shambles and moving himself with an object over there. Any object, it doesn't really matter. But it's awesome. His range attack is just throwing boxes at people, basically. It's great. Law's DLC was awesome, and Law's relationship with this little kid was genuinely sweet. Like, he goes out of his way to help this kid because, this kid has a dream, and Law thinks, he's like, ambition is important. And he goes through a bunch of steps. He gets the Straw Hats involved. And I genuinely think, the relationship between Law and this one kid that will never show up again was better than the relationship with the Straw Hats and Jan in the main story. It's not long. It's not a long campaign or anything. But Law goes through a lot for this kid. And it's genuinely kind of heartwarming to see Law in this older brother-like situation where he needs to take care of this young kid. And it was great. It was my favorite part of this entire game. Am I done? Yeah, I think I'm done. Here are my immediate thoughts after... this is unedited, me talking about this game while I was eating cereal. Hello, people. So it's currently 3:41 in the morning. I just finished Law's DLC for World Seeker, and I'm getting myself a bowl of Captain Crunch. Right? Because I'm hungry. And so I thought, why not, let's talk to everybody for a second about my basic thoughts on the game for the video's sake. I don't know why I'm doing this, genuinely. I don't know how much this is going to stay in the video, but... So, One Piece World Seeker. I'm so tired. The game is fine. But... This is my second time going... Shit. This is my second time... Fuck. I don't know where to put my... Yeah, fuck it. This is my second time going through it. My first time playing through all the DLCs. I gotta say, Law's DLC in the story might be my favorite part of the game. Genuinely. I didn't hate Luffy and Janine and all those fucking guys. I really didn't. But honestly, Law and Rahul, I don't actually know how to say his name. Rollo. Their relationship was the best. Sabo's DLC, episode of Sabo, I honestly remember what it's called. I don't care to look it up. It sucked. It was stupidly difficult for no reason. And the story was so boring. Also, the Katakuri boss fight comes out of nowhere. I've probably talked about this in the video, but it pissed me off. Really bad. And then I have like 5 hours worth of footage of that fucking DLC. It sucked, man. I played Law's DLC on beginner. It used difficulty because I just didn't feel like. I didn't feel like playing the one game. I'm probably gonna go in my room and make some popcorn. Zoro's DLC was cool. Laws made no sense at all. Not as Sabo's, I don't think, but Laws made no sense given the story of World Seeker. But honestly, I don't mind because it was good. And you can't, like, for being basically a filler character, the little kid, I honestly wouldn't mind seeing him come back in actual canon. Everyone else, though, Janine was kind of uninteresting. She was basically Vivi again, but not as good. So I'm gonna finish my cereal now. I know this video was kind of rambly, and that's because a lot of this last section didn't have a script. I just couldn't really put my thoughts into words on a page with this game. I've been struggling with this a lot since Pikmin 4 video, but I hope it came across as somewhat entertaining and kind of funny. I'm hoping to ground everything back down to a script again in my next video, which I'm hoping is going to be Castle Crashers, because that game just turned 15 years old, and it's one of my favorites ever. So next week is Castle Crashers. This week was One Piece game. And don't worry, I haven't given up on my quest for the SpongeBob Game Boy Advance SP. I'm just... What? Where am I? Why am I not outside? I was just outside. Sup peeps, end card Barty here. Short end card. I'm tired. I made One Piece game video. I hope you liked it. Castle Crashers next time. Bye bye.